YouTube. I appreciate y'all coming back, man. You see who we got on the screen is Dr. Umar. We react to him talking about, the black community. There's things that I agree with, you agree with, and things that we all disagree with. You feel me? But this is one thing that he said that I wanted to get into just real quick. He was kind of talking about the education and how we should learn as black people, how we should learn our history. The issue is we've been taught based off of how they wanted us to learn, and they are people who aren't black. We as black people did not make that curriculum. We did not make the structure. We did not provide the people that we need to learn, the inventors and, people like that. And until there is a fully black, I guess for lack of a better way of putting it, caucus that can come together and create that curriculum for black or just in general, it should be taken out of schools because white people are the ones that are teaching us this rhetoric basically. And then the things that they're learning is black people went through this, and then it's teaching a lot of white kids self-hate. So we're kind of going off on both sides. We have to understand that although our ancestors have done this to another race or group, that doesn't make us have to go through that. Not to say that things aren't passed down genetically and down the line just based off of our blood, but there needs to be an understanding, and I'm interested to kind of get into it. So without further ado, Dr. Umar.
When it comes to teaching slavery in school, do you think we should stop teaching slavery to see America who doesn't remember that? Or should we always teach the traumas that we had as slaves and to young third graders?
If you don't know where you've been, how do you know where you're going?
Could you teach hate though?
I don't believe so. This is what I tell people. They say at the Frederick Douglass Marcus Garvey Academy, you're going to teach black children the history, yes. How are you going to make sure they don't hate white people? That's not my responsibility.
Come on.
That's not my responsibility.
Come on.
And you have black parents who will deny their children a knowledge of self because they love white people so much that they don't want their kids to dislike white people. That's insane. Do you think there's a Jew who gives a damn if their children dislike Germans after finding out about the Holocaust? Who cares about how my oppressor feels about my children learning about their oppression? I don't care. But let me give you this. I don't have a dog in the public school teaching racism fight because I don't believe it's the public school's job to teach our kids who they are anyway. You understand me?
Yeah.
So when Ron DeSantis in Florida said we've taken out slavery, I don't give a damn because y'all shouldn't be teaching our kids who they are. The community should be teaching their children who they are.
Exactly. It's not up to people who aren't black to teach future black people about their oppression, about the things that they've gone through, about the racism and stuff like that, because they can format it how they want to format it. Now, not to get all, rah-rah, because again, there are things that I also disagree with Dr. Umar with. But the reality of the situation is if we continue to ignore the fact that there are things that we need to learn just as a society that is being ignored because we want to sit there and just paint this picture of how slavery was. We want to paint this picture of how the United States came to be. A lot of this is a lie that we need to be able to uncover. And fortunately, we have social media and there are people who do this and there are certain classes. But those classes, if we're going to learn, those need to become more than just an elective. If we're going to learn history, especially United States history, we need to understand the role that black people and slaves played in that. But it needs to be understood that they were aiding. We say that black people built the country, but it wasn't necessarily that they just built it. It was helping build because we all lived here. It wasn't just for white folks because a lot of white people were working as well. They gave us the blueprint. They forced us. Well, excuse me, not us. They gave our ancestors the blueprint and our ancestors helped them carry it out. Was it free labor? Sure. But that's the information we need to learn. The issue is we're not being taught it.
I don't want white women teaching black kids who they are. I don't want white men teaching black kids who they are because they can damage your child's interpretation of their history. If a snow bunny gives my daughter Harriet Tubman, if a snow bunny gives my daughter Winnie Mandela, if a snow bunny gives my...
Please excuse him. I don't know if, you guys understand him or know him very well, but he has certain things that he responds or utilizes different words to kind of talk about certain groups of people. And the snow bunny he's referring to would be a Caucasian woman.
My daughter, Queen Nzinga, or Ya Asantewa, or the Agogie warriors of Benin. If a snow puppy gives my son Garvey, Douglas, Booker T, Carter G. Woodson, George Washington Carver, Toussaint Louverture, if a white man gives my son knowledge of self, he can destroy the way my son sees himself.
Oh, man.
You never give your enemy the power to interpret your children's memory for them.
We gotta let that marinate. Hear him say that again.
Sees himself.
Oh, man.
You never give your enemy the power to interpret your children's memory for them.
There's a hurt that black people have that we still to this day live under. And in order for us to be able to grow from it, we have to understand our history. We have to understand our roots. And we have to be able to face all of that and understand that that's not what's stopping us. A lot of what's stopping us is what we say and what we do in the situations we put ourselves in. But a lot of those situations we put ourselves in are because we don't know any better genetically. A lot of us have these genetic curses. If we continue to think this way, continue to go down this path, mentally and emotionally, we'll still be under the thumb of our oppressors.
We got so used to white people doing everything for us that we don't want to do nothing for ourselves. And we've gotten so bad, we don't even know what we should be doing for ourselves versus what we should be fighting them to do. You should not be fighting them to teach your kids who they are. You should not be fighting them to teach your kids who you are. That's your damn job. Do we got to fight them for the criminal justice system? Hell yeah. Police brutality? Hell yeah. But fighting them to teach your kids their history when they don't even know it or care about it? You got a church on every other corner. Why can't the black church give out free black history lessons once a week? Because all they care about is money. That's why.
Oh, that's church is a different question. So, Dr. Umar, do you preach integration or separation?
Neither.
Let's go.
I preach independence. Independence. It's not about integration, separation, because you can't control what people do. Right? That's number one. And number two, I can't control who somebody want to date, sleep, be with. All I'm saying is let's build our own infrastructure. So black people not dependent on white folks for their health, for their food, for their employment, for their mortgage. Independence. Go to a Chinatown. Chinese are independent. Go into Arabs are independent. They still integrate socially. I ain't got no problem with that. If that's what you want to do, they're going to leave these bunnies alone anyway. I'm saying build infrastructure so our people ain't got to depend on white folks. And if you are an integrationist, here's my question. Why is the bedroom the only place white folks are interested in showing their love for black people? If white people love us so much, why is the bedroom the only place we see true integration? Why we don't see it at the bank when we need a mortgage? Why we don't see it with the police when they pull us over? Why we don't see it with the judge in the courtroom? Why we don't see it with the way they treat our kids in the schools? If white people are so in a rush to marry you, because all over TV, all you see is what? Mixed race couples, right? All the commercials, all the shows. If they love you this much, why don't you see it anywhere outside of the bedroom? Because it's a damn scam. They brainwashing black kids into believing you can only be happy with a white person. Genocide for the black family.
Let me ask you about the black man who he feels it's his responsibility to only date black women. What do you say to that man as far as?
That's the man. That's what you're supposed to do.
Okay, yeah. So, yeah, you ain't got no problem. Like
cultural commitment.
Yeah, like
that's what you're supposed to do.
He does not. Like, I would not stick my Peter into
no bunny hopping.
Man.
None. No rice, no ice, no spice, no sand, no salsa.
I also saw on one podcast that the black woman doesn't want the black man because he has not made himself suitable to, be with the black woman.
Before he gets into that, I'm going to cut that right there. I do appreciate you guys getting into this with me. There's going to be more content on the way. I'm going to holler at y'all on the next one. Peace.